Have you ever wondered why, when you find yourself drinking alcohol, that your native accent comes out in full force? Well, you're not alone, because researchers wanted to figure out what it was exactly that made your accent come to the surface when you've been drinking. If you've ever moved from one region of the country to a completely different region, you'll find that when you move there, people probably are asking you where you're from. Because even if the accent is subtle or blatant, people can tell that you're probably not from around here. When I first moved to Texas from Georgia, people, even though I was still in the South, people still could tell that I wasn't a native of the area, which I found funny because they didn't sound that different to me when I heard them, but I sounded different to them. A good example is the name of the city that I live in. When I first moved here, I said Arlington, and I would just stretch out the A and be like, Arlington. But now that I've been here for a while, I say Arlington, because over time, people, the accents, they die down a bit, and it's subconscious for the most part. I mean, there are some people who purposely try to sound different, but your brain, it's almost like a normalcy factor comes into your brain to help you fit in, and you just start to sound like everybody else. But when you go home, your accent comes back out oftentimes, whether it's the words or whatever the speech. It does take an effect on you to be back in that environment. So the same thing happens when you've been drinking. Just like how you lose great control over your body and your speech begins to slur, maybe you're tripping or running into things, you also lose control of your accent. And even though it's subconscious that you're not particularly trying to sound different, it does still take effort and brain power for you to sound like your new environment. And when you're drinking, not only do you lose control of the normal facilities, you also lose control or have less control over that native accent coming out, because there's just that much more difficult to control. So now you know, when you've been drinking and that the accent comes out, it's the alcohol. So it does have an effect. So I want to know from you guys, have you ever experienced drinking alcohol and all of a sudden out of nowhere your accent from back home, and people may joke with you and laugh, but you know, it's also said that when you're sleeping, people who talk in their sleep, they also talk in their native accent. So, do you ever have your native accent spontaneously come out? I'd love to hear stories about people's accents. So, let me know in the comments below, and I'll provide a link to let you guys, so you can read all about the article and the study itself. So, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.